Have you ever went to a movie and had these high expectations, and as the movie plays out, everything falls apart? Everything that you thought was going to happen and the feelings of this is going to be a good movie just go away. Abraham's Boys is that film. Now, this is based on a short story by Joe Hill. If you look at the poster within this video and even online, you will see that it is given this fantastic, fright, fearful review by Stephen King himself. But what some people may not know is Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. Now, Stephen King is an excellent author. Joe Hill did a good job on writing this short story. But the problem with taking a short story that is very well reviewed and people enjoy it and think it's an overall good movie or book, I should say, and trying to take it into a full-length film, there are going to be problems. Now, what we get here with this title, and a very misleading title, is the story of the Van Helsing family. You have Abraham, you have Max and Rudy, you have the mom that is really suffering as well. And what it really is a story of is full-on paranoia. You have these run-ins with Dracula in the past, and Abraham becomes very fearful. He becomes overprotective. And with that, you have the origin story of what you see on the screen. Now, I think you have to approach this in a few different ways. Pros of this movie are the scenery. I think the cinematography is done well. In a sense, though, I kind of got a feeling of The Woman in the Yard. If you look at the trailer, I remember watching this trailer for the first time, and I thought, oh, it's The Woman in the Yard. But I think what this movie does a good job of is really highlighting fears that are there. You have one son that is eager to kind of join the vampire hunting and be the next generation. But then you have another one that is kind of not wanting to do that, finding their own path, which is where you get the differences in the brothers. But what I think this movie does a good job of is really looking at the relationship between the brothers and really their father and how that all comes together to lead to what ends up happening down the line. But let's look at the cons. I think you have to really look at it from that perspective. The short story, it was done well. It is highly regarded. A lot of people enjoyed it. But the movie is not good. There is so many problems within this movie that make it difficult to really understand what is going on. Number one, the title alone is misleading. In a sense, you think Dracula is going to be there, but he's not. And what you have are these stories of Dracula and what problems he created. And that is why Abraham is so paranoid. Which I think, to go with a pro, is it is highlighted in the relationship with the kids. But there is no Dracula. Number two, I think some of the dialogue in the conversations within this movie just don't suit the characters. There is a lot of dialogue within this movie that has you kind of thinking, this is too simplistic. There's no real point to what is being talked about within this movie. But then that takes us to the overarching issue of taking a short story and making it a full-length film. When you are trying to add different instances to the script and you are trying to take something that has already been established and make it your own, I think this does not do a good job. I think ultimately this movie could have done better. I feel like there could have been better character awareness. I think there could have at least been Dracula showing up in the movie, not just the thought of Dracula. And so, if you're a Van Helsing fan, are you going to enjoy this movie? Probably not. I read the reviews before I went in. I watched the trailer again before I went in. And it's all a consensus belief. There was something to be had, but it did not provide that. Abraham's Boys is out now. It is a very limited run. There were 2 showtimes today. Overall rating, 1.5 out of 5. It is not worth the watch if you don't know anything about the Van Helsings. If you're looking to be scared, this is not a movie that is going to scare you. This is more of a psychological paranoia film. And so if you are somebody that gets paranoid, you may understand it. But Abraham's Boys is a 1.5 out of 5. It is one of those movies where I would wait until it hits some streaming service closer to Halloween to watch it. So it is out now. If you're interested in watching it, go ahead. Drop a comment if you have seen it. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure to go check out the other reviews I have posted. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as we approach 700 subscribers. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.